Awesome.
Very good. So, oh, and I see Mr. Otero's joining too, so we definitely have quorum.
That's
Good.
There
So
you
we have
Good morning.
good
Good
morning,
morning.
Mr. Otero.
Good.
Yes.
She heard you good. Good, good, good.
Okay. So,
Okay, you're ready.
Marisa?
We'll get started.
Mhm.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order our Laredo Convention and Visitors Bureau committee meeting. Today is April the 1st at approximately 8:34.
April Fool's Day.
Yes. We begin with taking roll call for today. We begin with Magali Rodriguez. Magali.
Can you hear me? I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Raymond Camina.
Present.
Marisa Ramirez. Present. Elizabeth Flores. Judy Gutierrez.
Present.
Omar Minhas.
Present.
Richard Laurel. Mr. Salo Otero.
Present. Here.
Mr. Gabriel Castillo. Okay.
Ms. Ramirez, Mr. Laurel asked to be excused. He's out of town, so he has to be excused.
Okay.
Is this the proper time to make the motion to excuse the members that have
Yes.
asked to be excused?
Yes, please.
So I move that we excuse the members that asked to be excused. I think Mr. Laurel was the one that was mentioned, right?
Mr. Laurel, yes.
Yes.
Second.
Second, my
Motion
Ms.
carried.
Rodriguez.
Thank you. Now moving on to page 2, which is the approval of our minutes from the March 4th, 2021 meeting. Do we need to make any corrections or any comments on the meeting minutes?
If there are no corrections, additions, or deletions to the minutes, I would like to move that they be approved as submitted.
I second the motion.
Thank you. Motion carried. Eileen, do we have any public or citizen comments to bring up to today's meeting?
Not today.
Okay. On our agenda, we do have the committee appointments, overview, and discussion with possible action on nomination and election of our vice chair. Should we wait till we have full quorum, or, everyone present, or is this something that can be decided today?
We leave it to the committee to take make that decision. We can wait, or we can take it to the next meeting to see if we have more members.
Why don't we do that? I would like to move that we do move this item to the next meeting.
Okay.
So we can have a full quorum. I think it's only fair.
Okay. And this morning we do have the current vice chair, who's Mr. Camina. So, but we can move it to next meeting
Next meeting.
as requested.
Thank you, Judy.
You're welcome.
Okay, moving over to the reviewing of our year-to-date financial statements, which is on page 5.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have in page 5 and page 6, we just sat as a team to review our expenditures for this year and for next year, to be first for this year to make sure we're still on track, that we're still continuing with the same idea of being very mindful of the monies that we have and not spending our full budget like we would usually attempt to, well, not attempt, but we usually plan to do. So we continue with our policy of this year of being very, very conservative in terms of our expenditures. For next year, we're doing the same thing, just because we don't know yet the date where the border is going to be, the restrictions on the border are going to be lifted. So we continue to be very conservative in terms of when the Mexican market is going to return to our community, at least the drive-in market, which is the largest one. We continue the promotion in Mexico, which we hope balances out a portion of it, but we know our largest market in terms of the Mexican market is still drive-in.
Eileen, I had on page 6, which is the financials. I had a question on just trying to make sure I understand what the report is telling me. The last 3 columns, the third from the left, or from the right rather, fiscal year 2020, 2021 projection. And then the next column says the same thing except March 2021. So then is the first projection the original forecast, and then this is a revised forecast?
Yeah, so what we do is we forecast like a year in advance. And so is it, yeah, okay. No, sorry, Monica is typing some comments, additional comments too. But yeah, 321 is our, so we have fiscal year revisions. And so what we do is right now we reviewed our, as I mentioned, we reviewed our expenditures, but we also review our revenues. And so the first projection is what we did last year. We said this is what we're gonna have in terms of revenue collection. And then in March, we review again the rest of the fiscal year, what we think is gonna be the rest of the fiscal year, and we make the projection for next fiscal year.
Based on the current situation.
Exactly. So we have a chance to say, we're going the way that we thought we were going, or you know what, things are going a little bit different. Let's change it, either up or down. So we have that opportunity always in March. And right now we were able to plan for our next fiscal year, what we call level 200. So the current fiscal year is what we call level 100, and then the next fiscal year is level 200.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I thought I was looking at it correctly, but I just wanted to make sure I understood that.
No,
Thank you.
we're happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Anybody else have any other comments or questions?
Eileen,
Yes. Okay.
I looked at the unaudited statement of revenues expenditures on page 5, and at the bottom it says the encumbrances were $1.261 million, and then the variance unfavorable is the same amount. How, or almost the same amount? I think it's a dollar or so off. So how did you get to that unfavorable and the encumbrance to the same amount almost?
So what we encumber, so we don't get our full budget, and Monica, correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't get our full budget when at the beginning of the year. What we get is what we encumber. So every time we get our, we enter a requisition, we get the PO, then we get those monies down to our budget. So what would look like our budget is the same as the money that we have. But in reality is we have our budget, it's in the hotel occupancy tax. So whatever we don't use, and Monica says correct. Okay. She's texting me. But whatever we don't use stays in the hotel occupancy tax. So what you see here is what's encumbered is what we are actually already using, and it's already in a PO, and it's an expensed
Committed.
I don't know.
So that goes to the next line, which is the variance favorable, and then in parentheses it says unfavorable. I guess this would be unfavorable, right?
Well, yeah, it's the monies that we've spent, basically. So
Okay.
it's what we've spent. But again, it's not because we have a negative balance. It's because what we spend is basically the money that they give us.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. Do we have any other questions on the financials? If not, we're going to begin with the March activity report. We begin with our director's CVB report, which is on page 7. Eileen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I want to highlight this month we brought back the Idomar flight. As I mentioned, right now the border restrictions continue on the border, but those restrictions are not the same for air travel. So people from Mexico, even non-essential travel, can fly. So for us, it was key to bring back the flight. It was in a little hiatus for a few weeks, but it's so during the month of the end of February and most of March, I was basically working together with Reina, together with the airport. We were all working together to get the promotion of the flight done. Everything that has to do with the flight. Samuel from Casa Larada and myself did a round of probably like 10 meetings with travel operators via Zoom. It was a couple of days of nonstop meetings. And travel operators, they were basically, it's one company, but there were like 10 or 15 people on the call, all in different locations in Mexico. And so what we wanted to make sure is that all those travel operators understood what Laredo is all about, what our destination has to offer, what the flight is, the benefits of flying with Idomar. So it was a combination of the Idomar sales staff and our sales staff. And so we had that opportunity. And together also with the commercial director for Idomar, we did radio. We have a strong presence right now in Mexico. What we did is some of the monies that we have for Monterrey, we continue our presence in Monterrey. We continue our presence in our feeder market. However, because of the restrictions, we decided to move some of the monies that we had for promotion in Monterrey to Mexico City to strengthen the promotion there and continue this. So that was one of the highlights of the month, the promotion with Idomar. And so we're happy to report that the flight is doing better than before it went into hiatus, and that the route Mexico City Laredo is actually doing really well compared to before. I don't know if you have any other questions on my report.
No? Moving right along to the Assistant Director's report, which is Joel Vasquez, but I believe, Eileen, you're going to be doing Joel's report. If
Yes.
that's on page 9.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On Joel, I have to say I'm extremely proud of the work that the team has done with the leadership of Joel in the online shop for CVB. We have our gift shop open. It is online. We've already sold a nice amount of items in the last month. So if you have anyone in your family that lives out of town in the US that wants a piece of Laredo swag souvenir, they can already go to visitlaredo.com. They can go to our gift shop. We have t-shirts, we have mugs, we have face masks, a lot of items there, glassware, decorations. So we are really excited about this. This is something that the team worked together under the leadership of Joel. And so we're really excited about this. Again, it's on our website. People can already go. And if people live in Laredo and they want some Laredo swag, they don't have to pay for shipping. We have curbside pickup for locals. And so we have those two options where people can, if they're out of town, they can ask for shipping, or if they're local, they can do curbside pickup.
Very good. Do we have any questions or comments to bring to the Assistant Director's report? Eileen, thank you so much for that information. I think that it's wonderful that the gift shop is 100% on a ramp up, and I think it's just social media is very, very good to communicate, but also word of mouth. So word of mouth many times goes a lot further than just, you know, advertising. So we need to all contribute to that.
Yes, and we appreciate some of our local media outlets gave us a space to promote the shop. Reina has been doing a great job on pushing it on social media, and but yeah, for sure, share it with your friends, your family. We know a lot of people. We would get a lot of questions of where can I get a Laredo souvenir? People are asking me, and so now we have it available, and hopefully very, very soon we'll be able to open our visitor center, because what we have in the shop is basically Laredo souvenirs. But then when we open the visitor center shop, the retail shop here in our office, that one includes some of the products from our tourism partners. So we have products from Webb County Heritage Foundation, from Laredo Heat, from the Max, from Laredo Main Street, WBCA, the Birding Festival. So we're really excited about that too, and hopefully very, very soon we can open our visitor center to the public, and we can open our retail shop here too. So for the moment we have the online shop that should service everybody right now, but hopefully very, very soon we can open the other shop with more products.
Okay. All right. Moving.
Eileen, question.
Yes, sir.
Do you have products from Border Olympics? If you
We-
don't, can you reach out to them, or
Yes, of
because the history of Border Olympics has been for 80 years, and
We'll reach out to them.
all right, please.
Good.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
I think Ms. Gutierrez had a comment.
I just wanted to see what the breakdown of purchases were local as opposed to from people that you know get it, that ask from out of town. Do you
Right
do
now,
you have it?
most of them were local. Right now, most of them were local.
Well, that's very good, you know, because you know the citizens are very, very important to this whole process. You know, that they be aware what is in the gift shop. You know, that's very good. You know, and I commend you all for doing that.
Thank you. Yeah, most of the people responded very well. We have a new T-shirt and the mugs that we had shown for the longest time since we did the rebranding, and a lot of the local influencers, local media showed their mug. Everybody had been asking, where can I get one? Where can I get one? And so finally now we were able to say, this is the link. You can get your mug. You can get your T-shirt. You can get all the products that you like here.
That's wonderful. That is really, really fantastic.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. If we don't have any other comments or questions on the Assistant Director's report, moving on to the Services Coordinator's report, which is Veronica Gamboa. I know Veronica's not with us today, but Eileen will do her report, which is on page 11.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And so Vero has been busy with Vero's coordinating together with Irma, the back end of the shop. They've been working on servicing all the orders, which in the first couple of weeks we got 10. By now there are more because we got more in the last couple of days. But until last week we had 10 transactions. we have different, Vero was also assisting the marketing team, and Reina is also going to talk a little bit more about that, but we had influencers coming from Mexico City. Again, we are looking at strengthening our presence in central Mexico. We have been working for many years to have a presence in northern Mexico, but now we're strengthening our presence in central Mexico. And so Vero assisted the marketing team in welcoming these influencers and helping with all the logistics of it. So she's also been working, most probably we're going to have to push sister cities to the fall, because even though we have a lot of people that are getting vaccinated, Mexico is not at the same pace in terms of vaccinations. So bringing the vendors is what is going to be tricky, making sure everybody's safe. Exactly. Not so much people here. I already feel comfortable going to an event, especially if we give enough social distance. But it's bringing the vendors. Mexico and Central America are not at the same pace in terms of vaccinations. Also, it has to do with the border restrictions, not knowing when the border restrictions are going to be lifted. It's also another thing that we need to be aware of. So Veto's working on our 2021 version of the festival. We don't want to cancel this year. We want to make sure we have it in some way, shape, or form. So what we're thinking is doing it during the fall, a smaller version, or maybe have a couple of smaller versions, but definitely having it somewhere before the end of the year.
Eileen, how do you envision that whole, thing happening? I think it's a wonderful event for Laredo. It always has been. But what would it do to move? Would you move it from where you were having it before, or would you look for a smaller venue? I mean, that's
we would love to have it at the arena because that would give us enough social distance with less. The only thing is the cost. So we're looking at the cost with the arena, and to be able to, because if we have less people, that means less sponsorships, that means less collections of registration from the vendors. So that means we can't, this is an event where we don't make money, right? But we want to make sure we don't go over budget with a smaller event. So we want to make sure we're looking at the numbers. We've been looking at the arena. We're looking at other venues like Unitrade Stadium, where it's open, where there's space. But definitely we are looking for a smaller footprint this year.
if you're looking for an outside event. I mean, you're taking a lot of chances with the weather, especially in the fall. I mean, that's one thing that you can never, say that it's you're gonna have good weather. So
Yeah.
you might have some difficulties, in encountering that. So
yeah, that's why Unitrade Stadium is one in our radar, because we can have it in the concourse where it's open, but it's not open. So some sort of compromise in terms of the space, though. We would love to have it at the arena. If we can make the numbers work, we would love to have it at the arena still.
that would be very, very good. I think, you talk about the space, there would be enough space for a smaller event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if we can make the numbers work, that's definitely going to be our first option.
So what month are you looking at for the fall?
We're looking at November, the end of October, the beginning of November. We don't want to go past mid-November, because that's when everybody starts having Thanksgiving, and hopefully this year we can actually have regular Thanksgiving, so people are going to be excited about that. So we don't want to go beyond November 15th. We also think in previous years there's been a similar event that was very successful because it was around those times and people were using it to get gifts for Christmas. So it was like a
Exactly.
bazar navideño. So we think that moving it to that time of the year, it's not too risky for the vendors because we have Christmas kind of closer. If we were gonna move it maybe to the spring, then it would be a little bit trickier. But we think that based on that experience with the other event, end of October, beginning of November is a good time to also ensure that the vendors sell their products.
I think it would be a tremendous success, being that people are buying things for Christmas and
Yes.
they want to get different things, you know, and I think this presents a great opportunity for that to happen. So
Mhm.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, so we're aiming for that, and so definitely we're not canceling this year. It's just we want to make sure we get approved by the medical authority, of course, first. But that's our goal is to do it end of October, beginning of November.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. Is there any other questions for the coordinator services report? If not, we're moving on to the marketing manager's report. Selena's not in today. Eileen will be doing the report, which is on page 18.
With the assistance of Lena. Thank you, Madam Chair. We're really excited. This was a big endeavor because one, we hadn't done this in quite a while. We had received influencers, but they were coming from Idomar. This was through and through our project. This was through and through the marketing team project, and they did an amazing job in not only selecting the influencers because they were combined. They had more than 950,000 followers, almost 1 million followers combined. They were very different in their audiences. So we had from a couple that's a reality TV couple to a host of electronic
Electronic music DJ
music.
host.
Yeah, she's like a DJ, but she's not a DJ. She told us she's not a DJ. She's like the host of the show. We had a travel influencer. We have a socialite. We had another reality show star.
She's an artist and a reality and a singer. So she's a multifaceted people.
Yeah, so we had a good array of in the audience, and we had great response. And I don't think we put it here, but they had we did this through an agency, and so the agency had this proprietary website or proprietary system where real time they would tell us how many Insta stories, how many posts, the engagement of each one of the influencers. So we could be parked outside of our restaurant and check, hey, how is this influencer doing? Hey, you're not posting as much as we would expect, or you know what, you're not having the engagement that is requested, which we didn't have that case, but we could have done that. But all of them were so excited that they were beyond what we expected. We paid for 36 stories, Insta stories during the trip. And Reina, how many did we get? We were above the 300 stories.
We have 600 stories until Sunday morning. So, but we don't end because we continue with the promotion because we have a giveaway with them. So we give a pair of tickets to fly to Mexico from Laredo. So we have this promotion, so they have more Insta stories. So we have I'm trying to looking for the platform, maybe that I can share my screen. Just give me a minute, so we can show you the platform, and you can see how it works because that's I like the idea, the whole idea, what this agency has, that you can check the influencer, and that's awesome because we contracted 6 Insta stories with one of them, and we have tons of Insta stories, and also the publications. Also the publications, the engagement, the link, the clicks, and the people interested in the city. So they say, oh, that's very interesting that you have the 7 flags. Oh, that's very interesting. Oh, Laredo, that's not only for shopping, because that's the idea that the people from Mexico City, that's this idea. That's us only shopping at the one mall. That's it. So they have, the food, the history, the museum. We talked to the Water Museum. We went to Kayak of the River. So that's another interesting thing that we receive a lot of questions from the local people and also from the visitors. So that's very good.
That's great exposure. That's really good exposure for the city. Definitely.
Let
Yeah.
me show you a video. That's a long video, but that only show you a small
Couple
clip.
of minutes.
We are working on the finalizing all this the production, because that's a lot of pictures, videos, photos, and anything from them. And we have it last week, so we're working in get together all this information.
But we'll give you a sneak peek, a couple of minutes of one of the videos, and they were so excited about just visiting and getting to know Laredo. It was really nice to see them enjoy themselves.
I'm sorry.
Se ve negro, Reina.
Like that?
No,
No?
no, I have a black screen.
¿No se ve?
No,
No?
no.
No.
Mhm.
Well,
Do you have some of the pictures?
yes.
But yeah, this is something that we will do something similar also for the U.S. market. We're trying to grow obviously the U.S. market and mimic some of the things that we've done with the Mexican market. So in the near future, we will be also bringing influencers from around Texas and the U.S. to have that same experience and that same exposure on this side.
Let me see.
I don't know. Well, Reina,
You see these pictures?
no.
This?
Well, we have
This is
the
us.
pictures with,
It's a black screen, Reina. Let me see if I can
Maybe because I don't know what happened.
no. I don't know if you have any questions.
I think there's some pictures, with the marketing team to, all of these, the projects with the influencers that were flown in. So at least we can see a little bit of, the team.
The first picture is the picture of all the influencers. We closed here. We closed here the tour. So just to give you an idea, the tour was 2 full days from 7 in the morning to 11 o'clock. We try to pack as much as we could in those 2 days because we only have those 2 days with them. They arrived Friday night and they left Monday morning. And so what we wanted to do was give the public the idea of what they can do using the Aeromar flight. You can get here on Friday night and you can do shopping. You can do and that's it. And so what we wanted to show was, no, you can have the whole experience with just 2 days. And so that's what we did. We took them from to brunch. We took them to the max. We took them kayaking on the Rio Grande, taking pictures of the sunset on the river, to the outlets, to Mall del Norte, to all their favorite shops, which number one shop that everybody wanted to go was Target. We're obsessed with Target. We took them to all these different places with the idea of showing that you can do um, a whole tour of Laredo in one single day. So just to close, and maybe we'll add the pictures. We'll add more pictures in our next report. But
Yes, I will be more prepared with that presentation with the photos and results on the platforms with all this information for the next meeting, because that's we finish and we need to prepare. So I receive all this information. So we time.
One of the things that we do, as Reina mentioned, is we're doing a giveaway. So we gave each influencer 2 tickets for the Idomar flight, and they are doing a giveaway of their social media channels, and so we're extending that presence in their channel, not just for that weekend, but we're extending it through the promotion and then the giveaway. So I don't know if anybody has any additional questions.
No, I think it's a good path and a good in the foreseeable future, that the economy is opening up again, and then we're getting the flights, and we're spreading the word for Laredo, and I think Laredo has a lot more to offer than what people actually know. So just passing through all of that that are going through the whole process and showing all their followers is a big plus for the city of Laredo. So thank you.
Thank you. And a lot of people now, that's you mentioned word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
For a lot of people, because it's not the company or the organization or the city saying this is what you should see here. It's somebody actually experiencing the destination from their point of view. And that's why I made the point at the beginning of this report of saying they're so different in their audiences. And so you could see
the diversity and how each one of them was experiencing the destination in a very different way, even though we were taking them to the same location. And so it was really interesting to see all of them experiencing in a very different way, and but going through the same tour. So
Eileen, we're going to be having the new exhibit of the República de Rio Grande Museum. That's going to be something very nice, and it's brand new. So that's something else.
Mexico market likes museums. They like to, it's a little bit different than our Monterrey market. Our Monterrey market is more focused on shopping, on shopping, sports. Our Mexico City market is a little bit more interested in shopping, but also the cultural side. And so having the museums, we took them to Webb County Heritage, to the Republic of the Rio Grande. We took them to Border Heritage Museum. Lalo gave them a great mini tour or mini presentation of the history of Laredo. And so they were really interested, and we're looking forward to the new exhibit. I think it's going to be great for that market specifically. I think it's going to be very popular.
I certainly hope so. We're looking forward to the opening of the new exhibit. I mean, those of us that are interested, in history and everything else, that's one of the museums that I think that people need to go to, even here in
instructions from council and management regarding arts, culture, and history that I will share in upcoming meetings as we start putting it together. But it's exciting for that part of our attraction, our tourism partners and attractions.
Thank you very much. I think that's a very important side of Laredo that needs to be, that people need to know that we have, so.
Absolutely.
And locals and visitors alike.
Well, if there's no other questions, Oh, yes.
May I make
Uh-huh.
a couple of comments? And one of them is that let us not forget that the tecolotes are coming back in May.
Mhm.
And very few things in Laredo that are family entertainment. Baseball is a family entertainment. I remember taking my granddaughter to the game and they were playing the music on the PA and she was dancing in the stands on at the box seats. Family entertainment. Tecolotes. In the 50 years that I've been in Laredo, this is one of the greatest things that has happened when the Tecolotes came to play in Laredo, making it a binational team, and the publicity that Laredo got because of that crazy baseball team.
Mhm.
And it's coming back in May.
Thank
Yes.
you, Salo. You always make that, you always bring up those very, very important things. And those of us that are not as sports, oriented as you are, I mean, that's a wonderful, thank you for mentioning that. I mean, that
No,
is
you're
very,
welcome.
very interesting.
Yeah, and we've been in contact with the Tecos through their marketing rep. Assist. We're just finalizing details on how we can do it. But as every year, we're ready to assist in promoting Tecos. We know that it's one of our key attractions. So yes, by all means, we'll be including them in our promotion as soon as they come back.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Otero. If there's nothing else to be mentioned at this section of the meeting, of the marketing report, we're moving on to the Monterey office, which I don't believe we have Samuel or Selena with us today, but Eileen will bring their report, which is on
This
page
is the Eileen
22.
Ramos show, right?
This is Eileen. Thank you, Eileen.
You know, guys, today it's in Mexico. Today is actually a holiday too. So we gave
El Día de los Niños.
es Jueves Santo, entonces les dimos.
Amen.
So, but they've done a great job this month with their Facebook. Their Facebook lives keep growing. They have guests. They have giveaways now. They're really getting into it, and the public is really getting into it. So it's really exciting to see. Samuel and Selene are doing a great job with that. And so this month, again, with the Aeromar team, they had Jesus Briones, who's the Aeromar sales manager. They had him as a guest so that he explained a little bit more about the flight. He also had some special promotions for the people watching. And so we're really excited. And things are going back to normal in some areas. And so Selena and Samuel have already participated in a few golf tournaments promoting our golf courses here in Laredo. And we hope that soon we can see some of those people coming in and playing in our courses. So as I mentioned, Samuel and I Samuel participated together with myself in the Aeromar sales blitz, and he's been the one that has been following up with all those tourism operators to make sure they have. Some of them asked us for designs or information. So he's been following up on those meetings that came out of the sales blitz.
That's really good. The exposure is just, it's important that it's, even though it's I guess, would you consider it midway between here, Laredo and Monterrey? It's like a good location to spread the word to your next nearest destination, which is Laredo. So I think that's an very positive, location where they're at. And thank them for their hard work on our behalf. As the committee continues to hear nothing but good things from the Monterey office.
Thank you, and I will definitely share with them their it's been a little bit of a struggle with the lockdowns in Mexico and Monterrey, but they continue, and I think they found their groove with the Facebook Live, and I'm so excited to see how it has grown, and now with different activities going on. And they are also assisting us in everything that has to do with the promotion, and someone will also be our sales rep for the Central Mexico region. So it's key for us to have somebody there
Yes.
that can move a little bit faster and easier to different areas in Mexico.
Yes. Does anybody have any questions or comments for the Monterrey office on the reports?
No.
If not, that basically concludes our meeting. Do we have anything to discuss or announce at this meeting? Besides mentioning that our next meeting is May 6th, 2021.
Then next meeting, it would be the Joel show, because I'm going to be traveling with a delegation from the city. We are actually traveling to Mexico City to for some meetings with the Mexican government. So
Well, good luck.
You can take some committee members from the CDB. I mean, it's wouldn't hurt.
we have some exciting. I would really recommend checking out the Aeromat flight. It's gonna be really it's a great opportunity, not only to connect Mexico City and Laredo, but to connect. It basically connects us to the rest of Central and South America, because I mean the amount of flights to the rest of the world that come out of Mexico City, it gives us that direct connection to another hub. So now we have Houston, Dallas, and now Mexico City. So, and plus the service is awesome.
And the thing is that, you know, we happen to think that Mexico City is, oh my God, a gazillion miles away. You get on that flight to Mexico City, and it's about an hour and 45 minutes or less than 2 hours, right?
In this case, it's 2 hours 20, because it's it flies at a lower altitude, but it's 2.5 hours, or 2 hours and less than 2.5 hours. But it's the most comfortable flight I've. For me, the difference, and I know not a lot of people have this issue, but I'm happy to be able to stand inside the plane instead of going like this. And I have, for me that I'm 5'7", I have enough leg room. It's very comfortable. And so I know a lot of people look into I mean, if you're gonna fly, being a little bit more comfortable in your flight. They have meals, they provide also drinks, like alcoholic drinks, regular drinks, food, and they have a, how do they call it, Salon Aeromat, which is like a VIP room, but for all of anybody that has an Aeromat can go to the VIP room.
Oh, how
in Mexico
nice.
City. So you get your coffee before you get into the plane, and so yeah, no, it's a great experience. So hopefully very soon we can all travel again normally, and so if anybody's planning their trip from Mexico City to Laredo, we encourage them to start looking at the flights, start planning their trip. They have a free change of date, I believe, right now. And so if for any reason the person is planning their trip for a specific date, and then they get there and they still don't feel comfortable traveling, they can change it to another date. So there's a lot of
Does it
benefits.
land does Aeromat land at the regular Mexico City airport, or does they have a different place that it lands?
No, they use a regular Mexico City airport. The benefit that it has is that they have their own hangars, and so you don't have to wait on remote location. If any of you have traveled from Nuevo Laredo, because of the locations that airline has, but then you have to wait an hour more on the tarmac because you have to be in remote location. So it ends up being the same amount of time that you're on the plane. Two of the main airport.
Okay,
Mhm.
Very
so
good.
very exciting, very exciting.
Mhm.
So we hope very soon we can see a lot of people coming from Mexico City and the surrounding areas to visit Laredo and experience our destination.
Yeah, because from Mexico City, you can go anywhere in Mexico. I mean, it just, it's right there.
Yeah, 2 hours north, Querétaro, a couple hours down Puebla, Cuernavaca, Toluca. Yeah. So,
Everything is there.
so
Well,
we
thank you very much. That was a good meeting. Thank you, Eileen, for your, for your presentations, and representing
Yes.
all of your fellow cohorts there. And so it's a nice meeting. And to everybody, happy Easter. Have a nice
Happy Easter.
Amen.
Safe.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Happy Easter, everybody, and thank you so much.
We'll
Thank you,
miss you
Eileen.
next
Thank you
meeting,
for the
Eileen.
excellent work that you do with the Convention and Visitors Bureau and all your staff. I think that's what
Yes,
makes it all.
It's a great
gelled,
team.
that everybody works together. Thank you, Reina.
we're very
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Okay,
Happy
so
Easter.
we have a
Bye-bye.
motion
We'll see you
to
all.
adjourn.
We have
the
to
meeting.
adjourn the meeting before.
Yes.
I will
We have a motion.
adjourn the meeting.
I second.
Motion carries. Thank you all so much. Be safe.
Happy Easter,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Blessings.
Bye.
Blessings. Good night.